Hey, when I started intermittent fasting, I wish someone would have told me, fill in the blank. Hey, you don't know what you don't know. But today we're going to try and capture some of the lessons learned from people who've been having success on intermittent fasting. Hey, everybody, it's Ryan Johnson from Intermittent Fasting with Ryan. Are you tired of yo yo dieting? Me too. And over the last 9 months, I've lost 60 pounds following an intermittent fasting routine. And if you're new here and interested in sustainable weight loss strategies, be sure to click subscribe now. Hey, so I created a post a few weeks ago asking people to finish the statement. When I started intermittent fasting, I wish someone would have told me, and then fill in the blank. And the response I got was overwhelming. Over 300 comments of people leaving their tips and strategies for what they have learned on intermittent fasting and what they had known at the start. So today we're going to cover just a few of those, give some of my feedback, and hopefully try to learn from other people's lessons so that we can continue and have success on our own intermittent fasting journeys. So to start it off with, the thing that I wish I would have known when I started intermittent fasting, the thing that I wish someone would have told me was that I don't need to eat just because my feeding window is closing. So if at the end of my feeding window, if I'm eating, say, for 6 or 8 hours, if at the end of that time is coming and I am not hungry, I don't need to eat something just because I'm getting ready to start my fasting window again. And that's something that I didn't start doing really until I was about really within the last few months is when I've made that shift. I read Fast, Feast, Repeat by Jen Stevens, and have gained some insight from that. But really, one of the things that I wish I had known at the start was there was plenty of times where, say, I would eat from noon to 8 p.m. I would eat my dinner at around 6 or 7. I would not be hungry, but then as 8 o'clock was approaching, I would eat something else for fear that I was going to be hungry later on. And just I wish I would have known then that I don't need to eat just because my feeding window is closing. If I'm not hungry, I don't need to eat something, and I can just start my fasting window a little earlier. So again, that's just something that I wish someone would have told me when I had started intermittent fasting. Now we'll go ahead and get right into some of the comments that some people had left. And this first one I absolutely love. I preach it all the time, and it's to not jump in with both feet. Start slow and work your way up. And I cannot stress the importance of taking a stair step or a slow approach to intermittent fasting, especially if you're getting into intermittent fasting for weight loss. Weight loss is so much more than the numbers and following a specific routine. It's so much about um, building the habits that you need for long-term success. So it's important to start slow and build up those habits over time. So again, this person said to not jump in with both feet, to start slow and work your way up. I could not agree more. That is a great way to have long-term success. Nothing great that ever happened overnight. We need to build those habits over time. And if you want to see my approach to building those habits, I'll leave a card on the screen here. You can kind of see my stair-step approach, but I couldn't agree more. You got to start slow and work your way up. The next one I got was that I want to highlight was set yourself up for success and make achieving that success easy for yourself. Little goals along the way make it easier to celebrate success. So this person wished they would have told themselves to set themselves up for small successes, and little goals along the way make it easier to celebrate success. So I agree 100%. And that's one of the things that I love about intermittent fasting is it gives you the opportunity and the ability to have little wins along the way, because one of the things that's important on any weight loss journey is maintaining your motivation. And one of the things that you're able to do with intermittent fasting is every day you get to have a little success just by completing your fast. So whether it's going to be, I'm going to fast today for 16 hours, or I'm going to go beyond my fast by 30 minutes, just those little successes you can build up every day with intermittent fasting. And over time, those little successes snowball into big victories. This next one stands out a lot to me. I pulled this one out, and it is somebody their answer to when I started intermittent fasting, I wish someone would have told me that this is not a one size fits all. Experiment with your fasting periods and time of the day. Hey, I mean, that one hits home for sure. There's 7 billion people in the world, and every one of us is different in our own unique ways. And it's important to experiment and try different things to find what fits you best, whether that be a fasting style, meaning whether you're going to fast for 16 hours a day, 17, 18, or if you're doing OMAD, one meal a day. You need to experiment with different things and see what works for you. Um, and the thing that you can do to help with that is you need to take a long-term approach to your weight loss journey. So intermittent fasting, because there is a lot of differences between us individually, it's important to know that you'll need to experiment, but you need to build that into your time. It's going to take time to try something, see if it works, try something else, see if that works, and that's perfectly all right. And it's perfectly normal for different things to work for different people. The only thing that we need to know at the start of this is that there will be an experimentation phase while you go through and find what works best for you. Do me a favor and leave a comment below. What have you tried in your experimentation with intermittent fasting? What have you tried and found that has worked? And what did you try and you find that didn't work as well? Let me know. Leave a comment below what things you've been experimenting on your own intermittent fasting journey. This next one I absolutely love. Again, if you could go back and if you wish someone would have told you when you started intermittent fasting, and it was, if you mess up, tomorrow's another day to start again. Don't give up because the benefits are real, and every fast gets easier, and every fast makes your life easier. Wow, I mean, that just hits home for me because, me personally, I have done the weight loss yo-yo so many times in my life. Over the last 15 years, I've gained and lost the same 40 to 60 pounds more times than I can count. And one of the reasons that after I have lost some weight, but have always put it back on, is because I was doing such restrictive diets that anytime that I would fail and fall off of one of those diets, I would get down on myself. I would, mentally, I would tell myself that I was a failure and I would give up completely. Well, one of the things about intermittent fasting is every day the clock starts over with a new fast. So if your fast goes early today, or if you end your fast early today and you don't make it your whole time, that's fine. You can just restart your fast the following day. It's Every day is its own journey. And if you fall short today, you can literally pick right back up tomorrow. If you're doing a low carb or a restricted diet, sometimes when you fall short on that, you feel like, it's hard to get back on the wagon. But intermittent fasting is literally designed. Your next fast can just start when you stop eating. So don't get discouraged. There's always another day to start tomorrow. We have to take a long-term approach to intermittent fasting and weight loss if we want to see the success long-term. This next one, huge, is it is not a competition. Everyone loses at their own pace, and celebrate the non-scale victories. Hey, I mean, that is just a huge bit of encouragement. I know one of the quotes that I love is somebody that I follow on YouTube. His name is Sean Cannell. He says it a lot is, hey, listen, don't compare your beginnings to somebody else's middle. It's important. I love seeing success stories and I love posting my own personal successes, but it's important that you look at those and understand that you can't compare where you are now to where somebody else is down the road. You can look and gain motivation from that, but you can't compare your beginnings to somebody else's middle. And again, this person just said, hey, it's not a competition. Everyone loses at their own pace. Celebrate the non-scale victories. That is so important. Everybody is on their own path, and having those non-scale victories are important. And those are the things that you should celebrate, not how you are doing compared to somebody else. So do me a favor and leave a comment below. What's one of your non-scale victories that you either have celebrated that you have already achieved, or one of those non-scale victories that you're looking forward to? I know for me personally, over the Christmas holidays, I got together with some friends from college, and I was able to put on a pair of jeans that I had worn in college over 10 years ago. I was able to fit back into those jeans. So it's important that we find those non-scale victories. But do me a favor and leave a comment below. Let me know what are some of the non-scale victories that you have either celebrated before or are looking forward to celebrating. Somebody just commented here, just did 2:17.7s the last 2 days. That's awesome. That in and of itself is a victory. Congratulations. Good to go. All right. Hey, the next one. I love this. This is a bit of practical advice. I said, when I started intermittent fasting, I wish someone would have told me, fill in the blank. And this is just a great bit of practical advice, is the earlier you start fasting in the evening, the easier it'll be the next morning. That's just a great bit of practical advice. That's something that I actually experienced myself yesterday. My wife and I went out. We had the day off together and went and did a little shopping, went out and had a nice early dinner. We finished and had a big dinner at about 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday. But I started my fast then and did an 18-hour fast, which means I was able to break my fast at about 9 o'clock this morning and have a semi-regular breakfast. So again, just a great bit of practical advice if you are just getting started with intermittent fasting, is the earlier you're able to start your fasting window the night prior, the easier it's going to make it on you the following day. The next bit of advice someone wished someone would have told them at the start of intermittent fasting was that the first week would be the hardest and then it would become easy. Hey, that's so true. I talk about how intermittent fasting is very sustainable. But the reality is there is some grit that is required to get through the first few weeks. You are going to be hungry. You are going to have to just kind of knuckle down a little bit. But if all you're doing is focusing on your fasting and you listen to what I say and don't change your diet, don't do all those other things, just focus on hitting the fast. Once you make it through those first few weeks, it just becomes easier and easier as your body adjusts. This next one, not to quit, to keep going. This person wished someone would have told them to not quit. So this is me telling you, do not quit. Keep going. Stick with it because the benefits are real and they are worthwhile. And this next one is how awesome and life-changing it is. More energy and focus. I haven't seen the weight benefits as such yet, but I have seen the mental focus and change in my attitude and mental stability. Man, that is just huge. The mental focus and stability that comes with intermittent fasting, I am so thankful for. In addition to the weight loss, just the ability to not feel like food is ruling my life. I feel like that is a huge benefit, and I wish I would have realized when I started intermittent fasting just how much of a change that would make to me personally. Again, went out with my wife yesterday, had a chocolate bar, and I didn't eat the whole chocolate bar. And that in and of itself was a huge non-scale victory. But more importantly, intermittent fasting gives you the mental clarity to kind of break free from your obsession with food, because you realize, hey, I go 16 to 18 hours a day without food and I do fine. Food doesn't have to rule and consume every one of my thoughts. So that's great. So, hey, I would say if you're ready to quit the yo-yo diets and start intermittent fasting and you want to learn more about intermittent fasting, I'm going to leave some videos on the screen now. I encourage you to check those out. And I'm going to discuss the things that you can start doing today to make the changes that you need to meet your weight loss goals and have successful, sustainable weight loss. And remember, we don't want to lose weight fast. We want to lose weight forever. Willpower is a limited resource and we need to be in this for the long haul. So thank you very much, and I'll see you over there. And if you're just tuning in now, I'm going to stop this stream and I'm going to start a second stream just for Q&A. So if you want to jump on over there, I'm going to do some questions and answers on that other stream right now. Thanks.